Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, the Tuesday edition, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. I'm Star Sports editor Ryan Finley, here with Greg Hansen. Greg, you had a busy weekend. Wildcats cut down some nets, securing the Pac-12 regular season title, and now they head up to Oregon. Talk about Arizona's home sweep of the Bay Area schools and what lies ahead for them right now.
I thought it was much easier than anybody expected. I thought we even had a headline, banner headline that said, hitting their groove.
Yeah.
And maybe it's that simple. I don't think so. I think when they hit Gill Coliseum Wednesday night, their groove is going to be rutted a little bit.
Was there a goosebumps moment for you in that game on Sunday? It seemed like the game wasn't very close, but the pageantry at the end was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for when they run up into the Zona Zoo. Yeah. They've only done it twice, right, and it works. Yeah. I kind of hope they win another title just to see it again.
Yeah, the legacy of Momo Jones lives on running through the Zona Zoo. Greg, they go to Oregon and Oregon State this week, and both teams have struggled off and on this season, but certainly they're capable. Which team to you is more dangerous?
Well, Oregon's going to be senior day there, and they've got good players. They just don't have tall players. But Oregon State has three really big, good guys. I think that's going to be as tough as the Oregon game. They'll probably get 7,000 fans. They usually get 3,500. On a Wednesday night against Arizona, it's going to be their game of the year other than the Oregon home game. So, and we've all seen it in the last 25 years, even Lute Olson's best teams playing at Gill Coliseum was really tough when you didn't expect it to be. I think that's really a tough game.
Greg, you lived up there for a while, and so you have a little bit more of an insight into Oregon State. People forget now, Oregon State was a basketball school for 50 years.
Hey, this dates me a lot, but in 1981, Oregon State was undefeated, #1 in the country. They were 26-0. Gill Coliseum was by far the best basketball arena west of the Mississippi. Wow. It was full. They had 5,000 students. It was everything McHale is and maybe more. But they went 26-0 to senior day and lost at home to Arizona State, Fat Lever, Byron Scott, by 20.
Whoa.
And then they lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament. So anyone who thinks this is going to be a breeze for Arizona the next couple of weeks, I can tell them about 1981 at Gill Coliseum when everything fell apart.
Yeah, and that was sort of the beginning and the end for Ralph Miller, wasn't it?
It was. He had one more good team after that, but Lute overtook him after that. And, yeah, that was it. 1981 was their last best shot, and no one could see it coming, I don't think.
Greg, we've traveled to the Oregon schools, usually in early fall when the leaves are changing and it's nice out. Are you dreading a little bit early March in Oregon?
This also dates me about 1980. Sports Illustrated wrote a story about the Portland Trailblazers when they were really big time, and they called it Drizzle World, and that's what it is. If you've been there, it's Drizzle World. Yeah.
Well, Greg, changing topics real quick from Drizzle World to, watch this, Fizzle World. You look at Arizona here, they're opening spring football practice this week, and the two quarterbacks I think people are talking about are two guys who have sort of been to the mountaintop and fizzled. You look at Gerard Randall, who started his career at LSU, and then you look at Jesse Scroggins, who was a USC transfer. Both are now competing to replace B.J. Denker as Arizona's quarterback. Which of those two guys intrigues you, and where does Anu Solomon fit in?
You left one out, Connor Brewer. Fizzle World, started at Texas. What are the odds Arizona has a Texas and LSU
and a USC
quarterback? And I kind of think, at the end of the day, I think Jesse Scroggins is going to come out of nowhere and have the best chance to be the guy, but of course it's March too.
Sure. Our Daniel Burke's working on a story. He said Scroggins was pretty self-aware of kind of the chance he had last year. It seemed like he sort of wasted it. It seems as if he's a more mature young man, and physically he certainly looks the part. I mean, he can make all the throws, big, strong kid.
He's a fifth-year senior, too. The time's now, and I think they'll know on him by April 1st if he's the guy or not. He's either going to have a work ethic and produce during practice, or he's not. They're not going to wait for him into summer, I don't think.
The one guy who didn't start his career at a top-5 football program is Anu Solomon, who redshirted last year as a freshman. He's a guy who's really had some ups and downs. I mean, he's yet to take a snap in a college game, but he's, I don't know, sort of questionable at this point.
I don't think he passes the eye test. I'm not down on him. I haven't seen enough of him, and nobody has except Rich Rod. But when you look at him on the field in a uniform, he doesn't look like a Pac-12 quarterback. And I know he's not a runner. I know he's not fast. He's a pocket passer, and he's not very tall. If he's their best bet, let's hope he has those intangibles that he's going to have.
This is Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Greg, one more thing before we let you go. I know you have a flight to catch. Projecting early to the NCAA tournament, is Arizona the best team out there? Right now, are they a #1 overall seed?
I wouldn't say that, because this weekend I watched so many games or parts of games when I saw teams that I thought, wow, I would not want to play that team. I thought Florida is that team. I even think North Carolina, they're ranked 14th. I think they could beat anybody. Duke could beat anybody. You know, Kansas could beat anybody. And I saw Oklahoma State make them look bad. I don't think Arizona's #1 overall, but I think it's one of 4 or 5 who can say that they are.
Right, so there's still plenty to play for here in the next 2 weeks.
Right. I mean, if you get swept in Oregon this week, there's no debate about being a #1 seed.
True, and if they sweep in Oregon, certainly they have a pretty good body of work.
If they sweep in Oregon, I would say before anybody else, Arizona is #1 overall.
Wow. Well, Greg, we're going to check in with you again on Friday from Drizzle World, so travel safe. For Greg Hansen, I'm Ryan Finley. This is Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. We'll see you next time.
At Domino's, we're slowing down to make our handmade pan pizza the right way, taking our time to hand press the fresh dough into the pan, adding 2 layers of cheese, and slowing our ovens down to get the crust golden and crispy. So try a Domino's handmade pan pizza with 2 toppings for just $7.99.